Finally. Sorry it's been so long. It's literally been about a month since we posted our first video. But we realized that editing on a phone was very hard, horrible quality, and we pretty much just had to go with the whole thing of what we had. So we finally got a MacBook and we got editing software, so we're gonna be fancy and it's gonna be hopefully a lot better quality of videos. Thank you for all the positive comments and encouragement that y'all have been sending our way, and that makes us excited. We know we're new to this whole YouTube world, but hopefully we're gonna do good, and we're gonna
give you guys some insight into our lives, and you'll have more questions and we can answer those next. So what we're gonna cover today is we're gonna talk about our
coming out.
Right,
yeah.
Our coming out stories.
Because today is Lesbian Visibility Day.
That was perfect.
So
her in her hands.
So that's really what we want to cover today. We were trying to prepare for this video, and we were like, okay, well, let's get ready and we'll do that. And we're like, you know what? This is what we've
been working in the yard. I'm like, we're gonna eventually they're gonna see us like this. So
this is what we look like pretty much most of the time. So accept us for our ugliness. I don't know. She's not ugly. She's beautiful. Only the second kiss you'll get. This whole
on a video.
Anyways, I'm gonna let Tansy May take it from here. Hopefully y'all are interested in our stories and are supportive and
let's
positive.
get going. We're 2 minutes in.
All right. Go for it.
Okay, so my coming out story. Played ball growing up. I've known I was gay since I was literally...
Since the jump.
Yeah, since the get-go.
Literally looking at
gold star. That's hashtag sign. I don't know how to do a star, but I'm a gold star. Never been with a man. So, never wannabe, never had the inclination to do that. So anyways, that's kind of my story about that. I grew up, I always knew I was gay. I thought it was weird. I always thought, I'd look at girls in the locker room, and I always thought other girls felt the exact same way. I was thinking, I guess this is just the way that girls feel about girls. So, kind of went off that, and I didn't have a girlfriend till my junior year in high school. Worked at Academy with her. So that was the first kiss I ever had, was a girl. And I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. So I kind of just went with it from there. And then I went into college, played college softball. That's why I told you guys I played ball all my life. I know you're like, what? Okay, that's pointless. Why are you telling us that? Anyway, so...
in true lesbian fashion,
yeah.
She played softball.
So there, you're really able to experience lesbianism, because we all know softball players are all dykes. No, I hate that word. I'm just being funny. But anyway, so I had a couple of girls during that time, blah, blah, blah. Left college that year, and I had a girlfriend leaving that year. And then from then on, I had girls and stuff. I mean, girlfriends or whatever. But when I told my mom, was actually I came home from summer that first year in college, and I told my sister, I said, Rainey, I'm gay. Rainey's my sister, which is weird because her name's Rainey.
And Rainey is also gay.
And my sister's also gay.
She's also been gay from the jump.
She has too. She's not a gold star, I will say.
Hey.
So anyways, you got me distracted. So I said, Rainey, I'm gay. And she was a senior in high school at that time. And I said, Rainey, I'm gay, and I want to tell Mom. She's like, okay, well, let's take her in her room. My parents were divorced. She's like, let's get her in her room and we'll tell her. And I said, okay, if I can't talk when I'm telling her, you have to tell her. So we go into her room. I'm like, Mom, I have to tell you something. Mom, I have to tell you something. She's like, what is it? What is it? I was starting to get upset and start kind of crying a little bit. And my sister goes, Mom, Tatsy's gay and she can't help it. And I was like, well, I told her she could do it. So she did it. And my mom was like, oh, that's okay, I still love you no matter what. And she just kind of acted concerned about kids and everything like that, like what would they think and blah, blah, blah. But as far as her feeling any different towards me or anything like that, my mom was an extremely Christian woman. She just got back on a church retreat with her women from her church. I mean, she goes to church every single Sunday for 2 hours.
Not that you have to go to church to be
No,
a Christian.
yeah, no. I'm just saying, a lot of people have people that go to church and think that people that go to church are against gays, and they're not. My mother's a perfect example. So anyways, told her that. She's been completely okay with it now, supports us 100% through our engagement and our marriage, and has never, ever batted an eye at the fact that I'm gay. My dad actually knew that he would be a little tougher, so I waited until to completely come out and be like, you know, bring girls around and him know that they were my girlfriend, until I was out of college and had a excellent job, you know, my career that I'm still in now. Waited for all that to tell him, that way, you know, he was paying for my car, he's paying for my insurance. I didn't want him to have a reason to take any of that away. So I waited until I was fully on my own before I told him. He didn't really have too much of a response, you know, it's just, well, it is what it is. And later on he told me, you know, once you were 18, you were your own person. You know, you weren't my kid anymore. You were an adult and you can do what you want. Anyways, he fully supports, he loves Ramey. He has not ever, he's only met one other person and he could not stand her, but loves this little gem right here. We're actually going on a trip with them for his birthday to the lake, and we're getting a boat and everything. So we do
family functions with them all the time, which is really good.
Yeah, they were here a couple weekends ago and we spent the whole day with them, and did that a couple weekends before that. Mm-hmm. And my aunt, both of my aunts, super supportive. My other aunt, she works in the fashion industry, so she's always worked with gay men, so she's always been okay with it. And my little cousins are okay with it, and she'll go to school. And my cousin, you know, she dates a girl. I coached her softball team, and they all knew I had a girlfriend. They're like, oh my God, you have a girlfriend? I'm like, yeah, I've got a girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. So I think it's good to be open in situations like that and let them know kids are so easy to sway one way or the other. And that's why our world is the way it is, because people raise their children with hate. And we shouldn't do that. You should let your kids form their own opinion. And if they get to be 12 years old and you're okay with people being gay and they don't think it's okay, I mean, let them think that, but don't raise them with values like that. So anyways, that's a side note. We'll have another video about that, because that's a whole other thing in itself. But where was I going? My other aunt, Tama. Yeah. Is obsessed with this one. She said, finally I have it, because she just has one boy, and me and my sister's always been gay and super boyish and everything, and she just is like, oh my God, I finally got a girl, you know, to because she does, it's just, my dad's her only brother, so
so basically she's very happy.
We go see them every 6 weeks. We went to the Taylor Swift concert with them, went to the Justin Timberlake concert. My uncle is super awesome, and you would think that he would be that way too. I mean, when I was growing up with David, I would have always thought that
they're conservative.
Yeah, and my point is,
just because you're conservative does not mean you have to be homophobic.
You know, people are like, how do you do it? How do you, how are you so out? And how are you, I mean, even at work, it's like, what I tell people is, and after this, I'm going to let Ramey have it because we're already 10 minutes in, but let people get to know you for you before they know that you're gay. Because I've done that with so many people, and people fall in love with you for who you are, and then they find out you're gay, and it's like, oh my God, I love a gay person. This gay person is one of my best friends.
To be honest, anybody that looks at Tansy and does not immediately know she's gay is
an idiot.
Yeah. But anyways, so
yeah, ha ha ha, lesbian visibility day. So anyways, yeah, that's kind of my, I'm gonna leave you guys with that tip. Let people get to know you for who you are, and if you're just a good person and just a fun person to be around, and just have very good values and morals, you don't have to necessarily be Christian or anything like that. Just be a good person first.
Be a kind person.
Yeah, be kind, be nice. What is that saying about the pineapple?
stand tall,
wear a crown,
and be sweet on the inside.
like a pineapple. I guess all fruit's sweet on the inside.
But they don't all stand tall and wear a crown.
They showed up like a pineapple.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, that's my story and that's my little tip for this video.
Be a pineapple.
I'm gonna let her take it over, and I know I probably won't get to talk anymore, but I just wanted to say we will be posting more because we have the all the equipment now and all that kind of stuff. So sorry it took so long. We've really been wanting to get back on here. We've actually done a couple videos. Mom called, so we put on Do Not Disturb this time so it doesn't interrupt, but it won't matter because we got the software now. We can edit that out.
Edit it.
So here she is.
Anyways, on to me.
Two.
So my story is grew up in a small town, very conservative small town. Side note, if you hear any banging or crying
Whining.
or grunting,
You can see her little feet right there too. If she gets really upset,
it's the puppy
her little
dogs.
feet will.
Miss Piper Dew will probably.
They met her in the first video.
Well, that's who's crying, and if you hear any grunting or snorting, that is Harley Pants. And Junebug is probably just sleeping on the couch because she's a good girl. So just ignore that. Anyways, like I was saying, grew up in a small town, very conservative. Grew up in church, went to church every Sunday morning, every Sunday night, every Wednesday night. How do I even word this? Growing up, I always just kind of had in my head, I don't know how, not inappropriate,
What are you trying to say?
but how vulnerable.
Oh, thoughts.
Vulnerable I want to get in this video and how, I guess, whatever. I don't know.
Well, we can edit this out.
Okay. This is kind of hard. Okay, so,
This is why we're doing this.
I know. Not that I had crushes on my friends, but I would always think like, wonder what it would be like to kiss
Snuggle
them.
with them.
Honestly. And anybody that was my friend, like, don't worry, I wasn't like thinking inappropriate about you.
Yeah, don't try and hit on her now.
But I mean, I just always
She's
kind of
engaged.
anyways, I just always had those thoughts of like what that would be like, and I'd be like, no, that's weird, don't think that. And I thought that, and anytime I would, let's be sexually positive, anytime like you would watch like an inappropriate video or an inappropriate movie, like anytime it was two girls, it was always like, oh my gosh, like that's kind of what got me going. That's kind of, I was just very intrigued by it. Anytime there was a lesbian or a gay person at school, I was very drawn to them. I was always very interested and just wanted to know everything about them and want to be their friend. And I didn't
While
really...
at the same time trying not to let anybody know that you...
Right, I never
Yeah.
told anybody that.
Yeah. It's like they always get talked about. Like when I went to high school, the gay,
Yeah.
there was like 2 or 3, there was a couple. It's like anytime they got talked about, it was like always bashing them, but you were always wanted to be in on that because it was like
And
you were
not bashing
interested.
them.
Yeah.
I didn't, but I just wanted to be. There was a gay girl in our theater class, and I was just like drawn to her, and not attracted to her, but I just wanted to be around her. I wanted to know what she was. I don't know. I was just infatuated with it, honestly, and I didn't understand what that was coming from. And my junior year, I got selected to play basketball in the Bahamas, which was really cool. I went over there, met a lot of really cool people. Literally my roommate, first day, this girl, and I don't know what it was. I was just like immediately drawn to her, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I want to be best friends with her. I want to be with her all the time. How the whole week was set up, or the whole trip was set up, it's okay.
I'm just playing.
It
was being
was
funny.
It was a week in North Carolina that we practiced. We were with our teams. Me and her were on the same team. We were roommates. We practiced. Then we went to Freeport, Bahamas, and played for a week. And then we went a week in what's that place called? The really fun
It
place.
doesn't matter.
It does, because I've already started talking about it. The fun place in the Bahamas with the big slide.
Nobody knows that.
Everyone knows it.
I've never been to the Bahamas. I have no idea what that
Anyways,
is.
it's like a big vacation resort, but I don't know why. I think it starts with an A. I don't even know
Disney
why.
World?
No. Atlantis. There we go.
I never have heard of that. Only the movie.
Wow. We went there.
And
So it was 3 big weeks. That first week, like, I was just drawn to her. I just wanted to be her best friend. I wanted to be with her all the time. When other people wanted to be friends, like, sounds so juvenile, but want to be friends with her, want to hang out with her, I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so mad about this. Anyways, halfway through the trip, I realized, I'm like, something's weird. This isn't just like, I want to be best friends with this girl. Like, I really like this girl, and I have never experienced anything like that. Like, really, like, had feelings for a girl. I ended up telling this girl, she felt the same way, yada, yada, yada. She was my first girlfriend. Of course, it was a secret. She lived in Louisiana. I lived in Texas. And
Shout out.
we kept that relationship going for about a year, and it was wonderful. And it was wonderful for me because I was finally getting to express the feelings that I had always had for somebody. But it was also like, it sucked because I felt trapped. I felt like I couldn't tell anybody. I couldn't, when you have a significant other, you want to share it with somebody. You want to obviously, like, show them off and tell people about it and I felt like I couldn't. So that was frustrating. However, I had a best friend in high school named Drew Parker. He's amazing. Follow him on Instagram here. He's amazing. He was my boyfriend in 4th grade, and we were both so confused at the time, and we had just become best friends ever since. And that year, he came out to me that he was gay, and I was like, oh my gosh, thank God I have a girlfriend. And it was like this big ordeal. Like, it was only us that knew about each other, and it was just a really cool bond. So we bonded over that, and we could confide in each other. Anyways, my parents, like I said, were very strict, very conservative. They kind of started figuring out me and Crystal were writing letters back and forth, and so my mom never confronted me with it, but I'm almost positive that she knew what was going on, and she kind of cut that off. I went through a stage where I was like, you know what, I want to get closer to the Lord. I'm being sinful, thinking these things. I want to be more involved in church, and like, I just had in my head, like, I'm on the wrong path. I'm just not being a good person. I'm not being a good Christian. So I shut all those things out and tried to, at least, those feelings. And when I went off to college and went to Kansas, I was like, I want to get a boyfriend. I want to do right by my parents. I want to make my parents proud. I want them to be proud of me. And I started dating somebody. And at first it was, we were really good friends, and it was a good experience to begin with. Just, we were good friends, and I was like, my parents liked him, and everything was great. That's a story in itself. It was about a 5-year relationship. We moved back to Texas and got a house together. And I'm going to spare all the details just because it really doesn't matter. We were both unhappy. We weren't giving each other what we needed. That's because I wasn't...
She is lesbian.
I'm gay, and I wasn't giving him what he needed, and he obviously wasn't giving me what I needed, and there's nothing against him. I wish him nothing but happiness, but we were just not meant to be together. We loved each other's families, and that was hard in the breakup. I just thought, like, breaking up is not even an option. I thought for the longest, like, we've already invested this much time. We already know each other's families, like, I just thought, like, I'm stuck. This is what a relationship is. I thought, like, oh, once you're with somebody for this long, you just you're not attracted to him anymore. You don't want to have sex anymore.
Kind of how what I thought about all girls feel about guys like this. Like, this is how it's supposed to be. This is what it, and it's not.
It's not at all. I thought there was something wrong with me. I went to doctors multiple times. Like, I can't have sex. I can't, like, which may be TMI, but sorry. I can't. And they were always like, yeah, I mean, like, they wanted to start me on medicine for, like, people that are going through menopause, which is, like, crazy. I was in my early 20s. I didn't. And when we finally broke up, which was very hard. Honestly, it was hard for me just because I loved him so much as a person, and just because you don't want to be with someone sexually doesn't mean that you don't care about them. And I did care about them. We spent 5 years together, and I feel bad that it's almost like we wasted those years together, but I also just kind of found out
you grew and you learned, and those 5 years you thought, yeah, they were wasted because they were wasted with the wrong person and
but
not dating girls.
Exactly. But I grew from that, and he's happily engaged right now to a girl, and so am I. And so really, let's get down to it, because I've been talking for
Get your feet out of there. Jesus.
Sorry. I've been talking for about
the dumbest thing
I know.
you could have ever done.
So my actual coming out story, we broke up. I immediately started dating girls, and I'm like, oh, thank God, there's nothing wrong with me. It's just, I wasn't supposed to be with a guy. I'm supposed to be with a girl. I was living with my sister at the time in Arlington, and I had recently had surgery, so I was off for about a week, and I went to the gas station to do something, and my sister calls me, and she said, are you at the house? And I was like, no, I'm getting gas. She said, well, Mom's at the house, and she's trying to get in, which we were living in Arlington. My mom was living in Cooper, working in Greenville, so well over an hour from even where my mom worked, and it was the middle of a week. It was the daytime, so there was no reason for my mom to be there. And I was like, oh gosh, something's going on. So she was like, you need to go back to the house. So I go back to the house. My mom was like trying to enter in the garage code to get in. She'd entered it in so many times wrong. Walked out. It was July, hot. I get out of the car and I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, this is really random. This is the middle of the week. You should be at work. You don't even live here. She's like, well, I just want to talk. And my mom is the type of person that she knows when something's going on. She's an amazing mom. She knows when something's going on before it happens. She'll call you and be like, I feel like something's about to happen. And sure enough, something's about to happen. She's just very intuitive like that, which is cool. But so she was like, I want to talk. I want to talk. And I'm like, okay. And I had not been posting anything about girls I was seeing. I wasn't doing anything like that. So the fact that she knew what was going on was, I don't even know how she knew. But she sat me down and she was like, I feel like something is going on with you. Is there something you want to tell me? And I'm like, no. And that's always how I've been. Like, I hate confrontation. And anytime, something like that happens, I'm like, no, I don't know what you're talking about, and just try to avoid the situation completely. But for some reason, probably because it was hot and I just had surgery and I was trying to go inside and take some pain medication, I was just like, you know what? Yeah, there is something going on. I like girls. I like a girl. I'm dating a girl right now. And my mom was like,
what would she do? What'd she do?
She was like, oh my gosh, okay. Well, I didn't think you would
tell
me that quickly. I figured I'd have to, pry it out of you for a little bit. So told her all about that. Initially, I thought like, wow, she's being really supportive. Like, this isn't too bad. And then she was like, okay, well, you need to come home with me and tell your daddy. And I was like, oh my gosh, no, I don't want to go through all this again. And she was like, well, you told me and he deserves the same respect. And I'm like, crap. So I wasn't supposed to be driving because of the surgery, so my mom drove me. So she drove me about an hour and a half to her house. I didn't have a car. I couldn't leave when I wanted to. Horrible decision. Tell him, and I pretty much just read the Bible all night and told, that I was a disgrace and I was, very sinful, very different from how my sweet came out, which is fine. Like, there's people that have really great coming out stories and there's people that struggle with it, which is what I have. Since then, my parents have not been supportive of it. They know about Tansy. They know that I'm engaged to get married, and they still don't want anything to do with us, which is really sad. I love my mom and dad. They're great parents, and I've had a wonderful childhood. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my gosh, my parents are horrible, because they're not.
Right.
They're wonderful parents. They're so funny. We have so much fun together. I just wish that they could accept this. And it's hard for them. I understand. They came from a generation where this was
Not okay.
not okay.
And let me say, now that we're kind of wrapping that up, something that you can do if you're going through this with a fiance or a girlfriend or something like that. Tell them some of the things that I do just to, not push the limits. Like, I'm not sitting over here saying we have to do this or I have to go or, give ultimatums or anything like that.
For example, my grandma, my mama Bobby, recently passed away. A few days before she passed away,
they knew she was going to pass away.
Yeah, we knew she was kind of nearing the end. We were in Houston, and Tansy was like, okay, well, I'll drive you. She drove me all the way there to Paris. My parents left to go eat, and I was visiting Mama Bobby in her memory care facility. They were gone for like an hour. I mean, there was time. Tansy was in the car. Tansy could have easily.
She wanted me to come in.
I offered that.
But I said, no, we need to be respectful. This is not the time or the place. You need to spend time with them, blah, blah, blah.
Which she could have easily just come in but looking back, she was thinking of my dad. Like, that's his mother. He has not accepted her, and she was being respectful of that. And which I think is very important, which I didn't even think of at the time. But she's always like, we don't need to push this on your parents. Like, if they're going to come around, they'll come around.
They'll
slowly.
come around,
yeah.
But like when we start having babies and stuff like that, it's not going to be you take them to see them and
right.
They don't, yeah. That will be that's what we've said will be the breaking point of you're not going to be in their lives if you're not accepting of both of their parents. I mean, that's just that's any straight couple or anything that says. So if you were wondering what that breaking point is going to be, because I'm sure you guys are going to have questions about that, what are you going to do when this or what are you going to do in that? And we'll address that when the time comes. And for anybody that does have questions about children and what we think about that and what we think about raising kids or questions people have about
getting pregnant.
That too, getting pregnant, but also in the interim of that, because we will be trying to get pregnant after we get married, shortly after.
Because we're old-fashioned that way.
But, what was I going to say? Questions that you have about people that say, well, I don't think gay people should have babies, or this, or what are you going to do? What do you think they're going to think? Or what are you going to do when they have questions? We can do another video about that as well, because I think that is an excellent topic. And my dad asked me that not too long ago.
Yeah.
And he was being
awesome
very sweet.
Response.
I did. He was blown away with my response, and he said, wow, that is, after that, he did not question anything, which he never really has, but we were just having a good conversation, and he wondered about that.
Yeah.
And I said something super just mature and that straight to the point, and it was just like whoa, I've never thought about it like that, but now that I do, I can't see how that would be a bad situation in any way.
Yeah.
So we can do another video on that, because that would be a really, really good video. But we are at the 30-minute mark on this one, and she's probably gonna edit hopefully 5-10 minutes out. I don't think she can, but maybe a couple minutes. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video.
Yeah, me too. Sorry for our backdrop. This is pretty much all we have to work with right now, so.
I think it's cute.
Okay. Well,
The
good.
vacuum in the back's the best part.
I know, and the drawers.
And the fact that I can just point at stuff like Piper's feet. See, look at that. Anyways,
thank you for watching.
bye you guys. We're gonna go cook some steak, shrimp, and bacon. No, we are not vegan.
No.
I know our lifestyle might look like that, but we're not, so.
I wish.
But anyways, love y'all. Thank you so much for all the views, all the subscribes. As for anything else, we have a laptop now so we can see your comments, questions, concerns, anything you might have, or you can shoot us a little thing on Instagram. We're gonna put our handles maybe right here.
There's
because
hers,
she's got
and go ahead and follow mine right here.
So, all right.
Thanks. Love y'all.
Love y'all. Thank you.